Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to discuss week 4 right now. Um, this thing was pretty well received last week. It was a lot of fun to do. I had a good time. Um, it's kind of nice to talk a little shit about other people. I don't know how long this will last. As long as my team's doing well, it's easy to talk shit about others. So as long as my team's doing well and I'm having fun, I'm going to keep doing them. Watch them if you like. If you don't, that's cool too. I ain't trying to be no YouTube star. So we're just going to continue talking about week 4, and we're going to jump right into it with Trubiscuits and Gravy versus Stairway to 7. This was a big game. This is Johnson versus Johnson, dad versus son. You can't ask for more than that. This is a big game. They were sitting there watching the Thursday night game, and Jason was just giving him shit all night long about the 96 points he put up. 41 points from 2 different receivers, 55 from Joe Burrows against a really stout Miami defense. That's impressive. I know it made it a lot easier for Jason to get up early Friday morning after staying up late to watch the Thursday night game, knowing he had 96 points on the board to start the week. It feels good to put up big numbers on Thursday. Austin, on the other hand, he put up a fight. His team was strong this week, but the old adage was proven this week. It doesn't matter how big you get, how old dad gets, you just can't beat dad. It can't be done. So Jason moves to, if I remember correctly, 2-2 and firmly in the playoff hunt. Austin, unfortunately, is now fallen to 0-4. Even with this strong performance, he's 0-4. It puts him in a deep hole. Puts him in a deep hole on trying to make the playoffs. But, hey, what the fuck? The kid's 9 foot tall. I don't think he's going to have too big a problem getting out of a hole. I don't know if it's that deep. So we're going to move to West Side versus Stealing Wins. That's Reggie and Sam. This was a good game. Reggie got off to a good start Thursday night from Higgins. It's either 37 or 31 points. I can't read my own writing. That's kind of pathetic. By the way, I keep notes here so I won't have to do this in, 13, 15, 18 takes. This is take 6, by the way, so the notes aren't helping that much. But on we move. I kind of like having those points from Higgins on Thursday night as well because I have him in my other league, but you guys don't give a fuck about that. So, Reggie also had big games from Kelsey and Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry looked for real. Of course, it was against the Colts, who just don't seem to be real right now. So, I don't know. We'll have to take that. We'll see what happens in week 5 with Derrick Henry. But even with the big games from them, it just wasn't enough for Sam this week. Apparently, Sam got a little tired of me giving him and his team a little crap last week. And he did everything he could to shut me up this week. And he deserves a pat on the back for the performance his team gave him this week. It was strong, very strong. Chubb finally got some help. Chubb has carried that team pretty much through the first 3 weeks. And he finally got some help. Deebo Samuels looks like he's making an argument for MVP of the league. This cat can do everything. He runs. He catches. It's just a matter of time before he starts playing quarterback at some point. There's going to be some wildcat there or some shit, right? I mean, this he's a lot of fun to watch. I don't like the Niners, but I watch him just because Deebo Samuels is fun to watch. Oh, wait. Here we go. We're about to move on to the next game. But before we do, we might as well discuss the new sponsor this week. Apparently WD-40 didn't like the fact that I didn't show their can on screen last week, so they bailed on the squeaker of the week. And it's just as well because we didn't really have a close game this week. This week, though, we do have a new sponsor, and it is Pillsbury. I don't know if you can see that there. It's definitely backwards because I got the camera backwards. But anyway, it's the Pillsbury Dough Award. And we're going to call it that because it's the simple fact that if only I would have played. And Sam, if he'd have played J.K. Dobbins over Craig Reynolds, his amazing day would have been incredible. So we're going to call this the Pillsbury Dough Award. And this week, Sam gets it. Good for Sam. Way to go, bud. You're back in it. You're at 3-1. You're firmly in the playoff picture. And Reggie is 1-3, and he's got some work to do. Maybe he should consider next year's draft taking Justin Tucker, I don't know, 2 or 3 rounds later. Just a thought. Just a thought. You take your kicker when you want, but it seems a little early to me. What do I know? On to Every Day I'm Wrestling, my favorite team name, against Bare Knuckles. But I do have to go with Bare Knuckles here on the fact that I kind of feel like maybe Every Day I'm Wrestling should consider a name change. You trade away the guy your team is named for, you maybe want to change the team name too. But you do you. Anyway, let's talk about the game. Jeff needed someone to actually knuckle down and play up to their expectations this week. Wait, did I just say knuckle down about Bare Knuckles? Yeah, I did. Not bad. Pretty good. Joe Mixon did just that Thursday night with 17 points. It was only 60 yards, 4 catches, and a TD. But I tell you what, I watched that game and it seemed like the guy had 3,000 yards. I felt like every time I looked up to the screen, Joe Mixon had the ball. It was weird. I don't know. It seemed like 17 was low for what it felt like he did. Anyway, Derek Carr was a bit of a disappointment, but the rest of the Knuckles had a good week. 40 points from his Niners defense. That's pretty impressive. That's something you got to enjoy when you get it. Devontae Adams, 100 yards. It just wasn't enough for wrestling this week, though. Trading away Russell Wilson for Jalen Hurts was a pretty bold move. And look, in my opinion, it's probably going to be a big mistake, only because the fact that you did it to Mike. Mike's the devil. We don't trade with Mike. That's rule number 1 of Sysco Night League. You don't trade with Mike. He's the devil. He has a way to turn any trade into gold for himself and to turds for the other guy. Don't ask me how. It's just something that's consistently been the case in this league, at least while I've been in it. So we'll see how that plays out for the rest of the year. Maybe this will be the trade that breaks that streak. We'll see. A poor performance from Pittman for wrestling just hurt. Derek is 2-2 now. But Jeff, I don't know. Well, he's got a show, I guess. So there's that. So now we're going to talk about Team 3. Great team name, by the way. A lot of thought went there. Against Balls Deep. Now, Balls Deep was Balls Deep in quicksand last week. Did he improve this week? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what my notes say. I don't know. I'm down at the bottom of the page, so I can't read too far ahead. I got to change here a minute. Will Jason got 11 from his kicker Thursday night. Double-digit points from a kickers is a nice luxury. But a disappointing 9 from his defense more than offset it. It wasn't a great week from Junior, but he does manage to somehow beat Civils, sending him to 1-3. It's a rough start for last year's champ. He's clearly not out of it yet, and he has been the most active on the waiver wire with 15 different acquisitions. That's a guy really trying to improve his team through the waiver wire, which is tough to do in a 12-man league. But you know what? I give him credit for going out there and trying to get it done. I expect him to be in the playoff hunt down the stretch. He's got a lot of good players on his team. Junior with 187 points, though, even with a fairly pedestrian 53 from Mahomes, yeah, that's pretty impressive. This is the team, like I said last week, I think Team 3, little Jason, might be the team to watch. He's got some depth issues, but it's a 12-man league. We all have depth issues. There's only so many guys to choose from when there's 12 of you picking. So I still feel like Jason's the team to watch. Let's keep an eye on him. We're going to switch it over to Brady's Bunch versus fourth quarter. The commissioner. I just don't know. This guy, he's making the moves, so I expect to see him there at the end. He always finds a way. But only 2 teams put up fewer points than Brady's Bunch this week. Fortunately, he played one of them. Mike's team had a big week 2, but he struggled to average just over 140 points for his other 3 games. But like I discussed earlier, he's traded for Russell Wilson, so I expect that guy to become the MVP of the year too. I mean, that's just the way it works for Mike. I don't know how or why. It just does. Let's see. Let's see. Where we go? Fourth quarter. They narrowly, bad week. Bad week for fourth quarter. They narrowly missed getting bumped out of the eliminator by, they could, where am I at? They're 2-2, but they could be in for a nasty slide for the next few weeks. They've been decimated by injuries. Decimated. And the waiver wire is slim pickings. So they need to get healthy, and they need it real quick if they plan on making a playoff run. Most of their injuries seem to be pretty minor, so I think they should be okay. Now, the game we've all anticipated, we've all been looking forward to, Frank is trash versus TaylorMade. This was billed as the Battle of the Titans, the game of the week, number 1 and number 2, the top of the win and loss board, the top of the overall points board, myself and Jason Weeks. This game did not live up to the hype. No one told Jason's players apparently how important this game was, because when your kicker puts up 14, you think you're going to be okay, but that 14 outscored six other players on Jason's team. That doesn't equal a win more often than not, and it definitely didn't this week. Where am I at? Let's see. That's where I am. Frank is trash and struggled to reach even 100 points this week. And he saved the fourth quarter from elimination by putting up a paltry 107. It was not good. TaylorMade, that's me. I managed to score enough to win. I went 4-0, but I don't know. Jonathan Taylor, that's a cause for concern. The guy's got a bum ankle. That could be a problem. I'm a little concerned, but as long as Josh Allen keeps being Josh Allen and doesn't have to play in the rain, I should be okay. DK Metcalf and Rashad Penny stepped up and actually looked like they could become lock-in starters for me. We'll see. It's going to be interesting the rest of the season, but that kind of recaps week 4. I don't do the picks. I like to let Jeff do that. I have a hard enough time keeping up with what happened this past week to even figure out what's going to happen this week. So we'll see. It's going to be a fun season. A lot of guys are still, like I talked about last week, not quite playing up to their expectations. The scores seem a little lower in Mike's league than usual. I feel like we usually have an average of about 175 for the week for everybody, and it's just not the case this year. It's definitely making for a lot more interesting season, and it can only get better from here, right? I mean, as soon as I go 5-0 and put 200 points between me and second place, it will be better. So here's to week 5. Good luck.